Ever come across a book so strange, so chaotic that it feels like it's fighting you? A book that seems to have no plot, filled with bizarre scenes and contradictory speeches? Today, we're re-diving into one of the most perplexing and profound works in Western literature, Louis-Claude de Saint-Martin's The Crocodile, or The War of Good and Evil, published in 1799. This isn't just a novel. It's a coded, symbolic, and deeply spiritual puzzle box, and I'm going to give you the keys to unlock it. So, what is the crocodile? At first glance, it's a mess. There's no linear narrative. It jumps between grotesque scenes and philosophical ramblings. The characters are more like archetypes than real people. This isn't a mistake. Saint Martin, a key figure in Martinism, designed it this way. He wants to exhaust your rational mind, to push you past the limits of logical thinking. Why? To force you into a different mode of understanding, what he called intellectual intuition. In other words, by reading the book, you are actually undergoing the very spiritual trial it describes. The subtitle, The War of Good and Evil, is your first major clue. But this isn't a story about good guys versus bad guys on a battlefield. It's not about politics or history. This is a metaphysical war, an invisible conflict that takes place within the cosmos and, most importantly, within the human soul. It's an internal struggle, not an external one. To truly get it, we need to look at the esoteric dimension. First things first, the crocodile is not just an animal. It's a symbolic entity, a powerful, perverted intelligence. It represents magic that has been cut off from its divine source, science without principles, an intellectual pride that has detached itself from the heart. Think of it as a counterfeit of true spiritual wisdom, an anti-sophical figure. Saint Martin makes a crucial distinction here between two types of spiritual action. There's divine theurgy, which is acting in alignment with divine order, and then there's lesser magic, which is action driven by a separate individual will. The crocodile is a master of this lesser magic. It promises power, it fascinates with hidden knowledge, but its ultimate goal is to cut you off from your true spiritual home, a concept Martinists call reintegration. This is very close to what other traditions call black magic or counter-initiation, a spiritual path that leads you further away from the divine, not closer to it. The very structure of the book, its coded language and symbolic chaos, acts as a kind of inverted grimoire or an anti-liturgy. The contradictions are deliberate. They reflect our fallen world, a world where divine symbols are shattered and scattered. The reader's job isn't just to read, but to internally reassemble the fragments, to piece together the divine puzzle within their own consciousness. This brings us to the spiritual heart of the book, the Martinist doctrine of reintegration. According to this teaching, humanity was once a complete, unified spiritual being. The fall was an event of separation, a shattering of that original unity. The spiritual path, therefore, is a journey of return, a path back to that primordial oneness. And this is the key, this return isn't achieved through power, through complex rituals, or through dominating the world. It's achieved through the inner self. The crocodile shows us that the real battlefield isn't the world around us. The true war is fought on the terrain of our own desires, our intentions, and our inner direction. Evil, in St. Martin's view, isn't some external force or substance. It's a misdirection of our will, a twisting of our inner compass. This is a profound idea, one that echoes the teachings of great mystics like Meister Eckhart and Jakob Behum. And here's the paradox. In this book, the more a character knows in the conventional sense, the more lost they become. The true path is marked by silence, surrender, and the stripping away of intellectual certainties. The book acts like an initiatory mirror. If you approach it seeking power or secret knowledge, you will completely miss the point. Its wisdom is only revealed to those who are humble enough to admit they don't understand. Now, let's step back and look at the philosophical dimension because this book was a direct attack on the spirit of its time. Written at the peak of the Enlightenment, The Crocodile is an anti-encyclopedia. St. Martin launches a radical critique against the supremacy of reason, the rise of scientism, and the pursuit of knowledge without any spiritual foundation. He wasn't against the intellect itself, but he was horrified by its attempt to usurp the throne of the heart. He draws a fundamental line between accumulated learning and true understanding. Learning is external. It's just collecting data. Understanding is an inner resonance, a deep knowing that transforms you. The crocodile, as a character, knows everything. It has all the facts, but it understands nothing because it has no love, no connection to the divine source. This is an incredibly prophetic critique. Think about our modern world, the obsession with big data, the rise of AI, the promises of transhumanism. We are surrounded by powerful knowledge that often lacks wisdom. St. Martin also offers a very subtle vision of evil. He rejects simplistic dualism, the idea of a cosmic battle between two equal powers of good and evil. For him, evil is a lack of order, a distorted will, a degraded light. It's not a thing in itself, but a perversion of something that was originally good. So how do we put all this together? Let's use a final master key, a Rosicrucian and Martinist reading. From this perspective, The Crocodile is not just a story. It's a guardian. It's a text designed for initiatory protection. It acts as a filter, protecting the true spiritual tradition from those who are merely curious, from those hungry for power, and from those bloated with intellectual pride. Only those who are willing to surrender their ego, to accept not knowing, can begin to grasp its message. We can think of it symbolically. The crocodile represents knowledge without love. The rose, a central symbol in Rosicrucianism, represents knowledge reintegrated into the heart. And the cross represents the tension we all experience living in this world, at the intersection of the spiritual and material. The crocodile is a detailed description of what happens to the human soul when the rose is forgotten, when knowledge and power are pursued without love. And this is what makes a 200-year-old book so incredibly relevant today. We live in the age of the crocodile. Artificial intelligence, technological magic, knowledge without wisdom, these are the defining challenges of our time. St. Martin's chaotic masterpiece serves as a powerful warning. To sum it all up, The Crocodile is a negative coming-of-age story. It's a mirror that reflects the path of counter-initiation. It's a spiritual manual disguised as chaos and a radical warning against the dangers of a heartless intellect. This is not a book that you simply read. It works on you. It resists you. It sorts you out, separating the true seeker from the spiritual tourist. It's a journey, an ordeal, and a profound invitation to find the path back to the heart. It's a journey, an ordeal, and a profound invitation to find the path back to the heart. In the videos that follow, we will explore The Crocodile by Louis-Claude de Saint-Martin chant by chant, through an esoteric Rosicrucian and Martinist reading, uncovering its hidden architecture with the help of symbolic analysis and sacred gematria. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this exploration into esoteric literature, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. See you in the next video.